1. Welcome to Sports Broadcasting Center. I'm Josh Solomon along with Patrick Moran and Philip Conrad. Today we're going to talk about recent trades. Let's first start out with a recent one. Lucas Giolito to the Angels. What do you think, Philip?
I thought this was a really desperate move from the Angels. Obviously, they took Ohtani off the market, and then a couple hours later, they made the trade. I think that they're really desperate for Ohtani to stay around, and they really wanted to make some noise. And I like Lucas Giolito a lot. I thought he was one of the better pitchers on the market in a pretty weak deadline. But trading your number 2 and number 3 prospects, and Edgar Caro, who's the catcher, was ranked number 66 in MLB Pipeline's top 100. So this really screamed desperation to me. And Kai Busch is a solid pitcher, lefty. And, I mean, the Angels also got back Ronaldo Lopez, but he hasn't done much this season. I think he has about a 4.8 ERA out of the bullpen. So, again, as I've said multiple times, it just screams desperation to me.
Yeah. Anything to add on, Pat?
Yeah, definitely an interesting trade. Like you said, Ohtani off the board, and then a couple hours later, you get Giolito. Very desperate. I agree with Philip. You're willing to ditch some of your top prospects for a rental, essentially. And Giolito could be hit or miss, too. And it's just very interesting what the Phillies are trying to do here. And of course, they got that bullpen arm as well. He has that fireball type stuff. Maybe the Angels will figure something out, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does scream desperation, like you both were saying. I think a lot of more trades are going to happen now that Shohei's off the board. I think more teams are going to be willing to more flexible now with their prospects. Now they don't have to try to trade for Shohei.
No, I agree, yeah.
More trades are going to happen. It's going to be a more interesting trade deadline now. You might see the Orioles get a few guys now that they're not looking towards Shohei. Obviously, probably would not have gone for Shohei.
I mean, I think a team that was in the running for Shohei was Tampa Bay, especially. So I think we could see some moves made from Tampa Bay now that they're in second place and now that they really need a boost. Obviously, we saw Lance Lynn talked about yesterday. Didn't end up happening, but it still could happen. So, Also, don't get it wrong. I like Lucas Giolito a lot. Just the package they gave up.
Yeah.
Didn't love it.
I agree.
Now, we also have Noah Syndergaard to the Guardians. What do you think about that?
Ahmed Rosario going back to the Dodgers. I mean, it's an expiring contract, Rosario, and I mean, I don't really get it. I mean, they just got Kike Hernandez, who hits well against lefties, and now they have Rosario, who obviously is one of the worst fielders in all of baseball, but also hits well against lefties. It's not like they're trying to platoon over there, so I don't really get it. I mean, Syndergaard going back to the Guardians, you don't need starting pitching. I'd much rather just get a prospect back. So it made no sense for both teams. Kind of a weird trade, but yeah, Pat, do you have anything else?
I think on my end, I think this could look like a steal for the Guardians because we know what they can do with pitching. And Noah Syndergaard, a guy has been struggling this year. Maybe he can provide some veteran presence for these younger guys like Tanner Bybee, Logan Allen, Gavin Williams on this rotation.
I could see that.
I think if Syndergaard pans out, it's going to be a steal. And I mean, he's going to go into free agency after this year, so that's what's going to hurt. But I think there's a world where he's really good. And then Ahmed Rosario to the Dodgers, it's just like you said, Kike Hernandez, Miguel Rojas are already on this team.
It's a land of misfit toys over there in that middle infield.
It makes sense what they're trying to do up the middle. There's not a lot of clarity going on. They're not getting a left-handed bat. I think, Gavin Lux could have been that guy up the middle, but obviously out for the season. It's just interesting, and, it's just kind of a weird trade. I think this is comparable to last year's trade. Harrison Bader for Jordan Montgomery. At that time, it was looked at as very weird. But, we'll see what happens.
Now, speaking of screaming for desperation, we have breaking news from our intern. The Los Angeles Angels trade for Shane Bieber in exchange for Joe Adell and 2 low-level minor league players.
To be named later. Okay.
To be named later.
So I assume they're not top 30 guys. They might be, but I mean, if they're to be named later, I would doubt it.
Yeah.
My first instinct when I see this is that the Angels absolutely fleece them. You get 2 guys to be named later, which will probably not be too great of players, and Joe Adell. I like Joe Adell, but what has he proven? He's proven nothing. I mean, it's a horrible trade for the Guardians, just getting absolutely fleeced. But in the Angels, you get Shane Bieber, who might not even play for the rest of this season. So I mean, like, if you're really trying to get in that playoff hunt and try to contend with keeping Ohtani, what does this do? This is the stupidest trade I've ever seen. Like, I don't understand what either team were doing. Like, were they having a great time last night? Like, hey, you want Joe Adele for Shane Bieber? Sure. Like, I don't get what's going on here. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Definitely interesting on the Angels' part. We just saw them get Giolito. Now they have Shane Bieber on the team. It's like Philip said. Shane Bieber's hurt, so that is definitely interesting.
Shane Bieber's hurt.
Joe Adele, possibly the best AAA hitter of all time, but I really don't know what that's saying at this point. Former high draft pick, top 10 pick, I believe, by the Los Angeles Angels. At one point was viewed to be the next Mike Trout-esque player. Really hasn't been that at the big level. I think he's shown some sparks here and there of being a good player, but we haven't really seen it on a consistent basis. So it'll be interesting to see what the Guardians can get out of Joe Adele. Maybe goes to the majors and try to just get those everyday reps, try and figure it out every day in the lineup, or he goes back to AAA and keeps on raking as he has in his entire AAA career.
Yeah, I mean, quadruple player.
Yeah.
I honestly, this trade sounds so stupid that it might be just made up entirely.
I think we're gonna have to fire our intern after this.
Might have to fire our
this is just weird.
Yeah.
No, but it is they definitely got fleeced here.
Yeah.
Bieber, obviously,
Good player when healthy.
Good player
Very
when
good.
healthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see that former Cy Young,
Former Cy Young, yeah.
Joe Adele, quadruple player, and then two guys to be named later.
I mean,
like
unless
you
it's
said,
like-
not going to be that good. Probably.
Unless it's like a low level guy like Chase DeLauder, but like I don't know a lot of guys who they have in the lower minors that even could be good that could be named later. You know?
But
Yeah.
Chase DeLauder is good.
Yeah,
out of the
but I know, but
2022
I'm
draft.
saying like unless it is him, like I
Yeah.
don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
All right, that seems about it for today's episode.
I need to cool off.
Yeah.
Had the Shane
absolutely.
Bieber trade discussed Noah Syndergaard. I think that's about it. Thank
I
you
would
guys
agree,
for today's
yeah.
episode. See you
Yep.
guys next time.